How are you? Brent. I love to sign you. Thank you so much. Brand new facility. Thanks for having us aboard here.
Thank you.
I mean, from what I see on the outside, it looks pretty cool. Can we have a tour?
Oh, I'd love to give you a tour. This has been a work in progress for about 7 years, and we're excited that we're finally moved in and getting off the ground running, and exciting to show you where we're at and what we've achieved.
Well, let's take a peek.
All righty.
All right, I'll follow you.
Sounds good. You know, one of the things that we're excited about is just increased capacity all around. This facility, we increased, almost tripled our size of capacity, not just in warehouse, but cooler and freezer. Tripled our cubic capacities. By doing that, we've also been able to expand efficiency. We've been able to now position ourselves for bigger impact.
With more space, there's more opportunity.
Being able to leverage and accept access to all the resources that we have coming our way, to not say no, but to be able to say yes.
This facility was a project of 7 years in the making, and they certainly have evolved.
Another aspect, we have increased our ability to host volunteers now. We used to be restricted to maybe 2 groups of 6 or so confined, and now we're able to boost up and we're able to accommodate groups of 20, 30 volunteers at a time. Just off to our side here, this is one of the areas that is very significant. It is our food repackaging. So we bring in bulk food products that are not retail pack size, and we're able to utilize our volunteers now to come in and actually repack that down into family size quantities. So for example, we're getting our pasta through Pasta Montana in Great Falls, and we're bringing in 1,000 pound or 2,000 pound bins of pasta. Right now, as you can see, we're repacking bulk rice. So we're purchasing bulk rice in 2,000 pound totes. So you can imagine as the scope and scale allows us to get very efficient and economical. Before, due to our space restraints, we couldn't buy just one item in full truckload quantities because we didn't have space to carry everything, where now we did. And we're able to pick up quality products and food for, again, 20 cents, 25 cents on the dollar. It was number one to say, once we have the capacity, then we can focus on distribution outputs. And now we're finally there, where we've got the facility as the most critical factor for capacity for us to be able to take the next step. We're working on 6 semi-loads of frozen turkeys that we're going to be distributing over the holidays this year. We're able to bring in more fresh potatoes from our growers because of our egg room. We brought in a full semi-load of potatoes last week, and we're already having to order another truckload this week. Just because we have that capacity, we've got the ability now to take advantage, and all that available food that we just couldn't accept before, now we're bringing in, and we're reaching out to all of our partners across the state, and they are just ecstatic. They are like, we can use it, we can take it, and so we're already off the ground running.
With the space and resources now available, the Montana Food Bank Network can help everyday families.
This is another area that we're excited about. By being able to bring all of our volunteer activities into one location, it allows us to be more efficient, more safe. It allows our teams to be able to work in the warehouse environment while keeping our volunteers safe. This is a new food box volunteer project we got going on, where volunteers will come in and help us put together pre-packed food boxes ready to go out to pantries. A lot of these go to our rural areas across the state where there is no brick or mortar pantry or service available, and we're able to take these out in the trucks, find partners that are willing to be able to deliver those to people, to our friends in need, whether it's from a church, a senior center. Again, just being more efficient and being able to move through. You'll notice, yes, there is a lot of empty racking still.
But room for growth.
But room for growth, and we know that there's a need there. You know, as a rural state, a lot of times it's hard to get access to food. It might be a 100-mile drive to the nearest Sam's Club or Costco. And when you get there, do you have the ability to do it? Well, 90+% of all of our pantries and shelters across the state and senior centers are managed by volunteers. And they're trying to, and they need food to run their pantries, and they're like, who's got a vehicle, who's got gas, who can drive all the way to that store, and what is the cost of food in those locations? We've become a one-stop shop to provide everything our neighbors need just through us. They put in an online order for the food they need that we have access to. We pack the food, we deliver it, we bring it right to their doorstep, and we make it as simple as possible. We're an organization who does not provide food directly to the individuals or families and our neighbors. We rely on our membership, all of our food pantries and shelters, and school-based programs helping feed hungry children. So prior to moving in here, we had a wait list of over 20 members waiting to get on that are requesting our assistance to help, and we couldn't do it because we were out of space. So again, we are in response to what we're hearing statewide as far as what are the local community needs, how can they help get food, how can we get them to them. So one of the most exciting things now is we're positioning to say, instead of being able to say, no, we can't help you, now we can.
There are now more opportunities for fresh produce and dairy.
It's about a healthy diet, and now we're being able to put all those components together to put nutritious food, whether it's dairy, produce, meat, proteins, and get the full balanced diet, including our school programs. You know, it's just kind of putting all the missing links together, where we always said, if you could do it the ideal way, what would it look like? And now we're there. The agriculture component is huge, and now, as we'll be able to see going into our coolers and freezers, that we have tremendously enhanced our ability to bring in more of that produce. And with this increased capacity, as we go into the cooler here, which you can see is empty, produce is a quick turnaround. We just brought in 2 semi-loads of produce on Monday. Today's Thursday. We've already turned around and distributed it.
Wow.
So
That quick.
That quick. Yep. It went out on the trucks and away it goes. So we work with a produce co-op. We work with growers in a 4-state region. The reason why it's so exciting is we have so many growers that either overproduce or their market isn't right for spec. We will work with those growers to cover their packaging and harvesting costs, and then they don't have to either waste or let that product get plowed under, with a guaranteed customer, which we have then made agreements to say we'll cover some of those costs, because we realize that there's costs for inputs, and if we can help offset that, but then we can still get your produce, we'll take it.
How vital is that? Because that wasn't an option before.
Well, it's huge, especially because we've identified it as one of the largest items of food that's available right now that is not being consumed in our country and in our state. And keeping food waste is important. It's also allowing us, again, scope and scale to be more impactful. And then it's a win because those growers get a tax deduction for the actual produce, but we're helping them cover those operating costs. And so it's just a win-win situation.
Look at the space in here.
Oh, yeah.
And the ability of what you can stack in here. I mean, this is a massive room.
Yes, yeah, it's really positioning us again to open up those floodgates to be able to start bringing in a lot more fresh produce. And as we know, that's nutritious food. We're focusing on nutrition, and when somebody's going to the grocery store, that's one of the highest ticket items. You hit the produce aisle, you hit the meat. And
What are some of those produce items that you've been able to get that you weren't able to before?
Well, for example, with our new agricultural room, we brought in a lot of fall produce like pumpkins and squash, the cabbages like you see here. These are all things that before, due to our limited capacity, we just didn't have the turnaround time. And now all of a sudden in the pipeline, we've got 250,000 pounds of produce scheduled to be here in the next 3 weeks. We don't have Campbell's soup factories in Montana. We don't have a lot of that. But what we do have is we have a lot of agriculture in pulse crops, in ranchers and growers that can now, we can help make a bigger impact. They can contribute, whether it's donating an animal, whether it's working with us to source bulk chickpeas, lentils. It's just opening up avenues to engage even more.
What else you got to show?
Well, coming into this is one of our most important, critical and our most exciting features is the freezer, because that's where we'll be able to buy ourselves time by freezing it. So We'll go through quick. It's minus 10 degrees in here, but this is where all our holiday turkeys, all of our frozen meat is right now. And as you can see, we're filling it up and it's coming in fast. So we also are prepping, taking advantage of a lot of those donations, like our relationships with USDA, Producer Partnership, Montana Farmers Union. We've been bringing in donations now this last couple weeks that normally would cost us over $100,000 worth of retail cost that we were able to turn in and now make it a reality that we're bringing that food in and allowing those partners to be more impactful
And
for
then
us.
that allows you to use those resources in other areas, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
And with that being said, how are you able to take advantage of that? And maybe, I'm not sure what, but what is it that you're able now to use those resources?
Well, say for example, if we're able to take advantage of a donation of a $70,000 truckload of frozen pork or frozen beef, we can take that money and put it back into our operating budget, so we're being able to make more trips across the state, allows us to hire more drivers. We distributed more pounds of food last week than we have in the last year, just because efficiency, scope and scale, and we're actually ahead of schedule, which is amazing. You know, we didn't stop production or distribution during the entire move. And again, it's all about efficiency. The farther we can stretch a dollar, the more outputs we can create for every input that goes in. It allows us to be able to provide more to those that are depending on us.
You're right. I mean, it is cool, but it is impressive to see the different things that are in here. And I see the different logos.
Oh yes, yeah. A lot of our friends that are helping us out, and you know, again, it's an opportunity for everybody wherever you're at that wants to lend a hand or start to get involved. There's avenues for them to do it.
And so, being able to get in here, like the beef and different items, different animals from the rancher, how much has that increased? Whether it is, you mentioned pork, just the different types of animals that maybe you weren't able to bring in before.
Yeah, it's very significant. Again, a lot of the food that's available out there with fresh versus frozen is just the perishable dates. And not only now are we able to bring in frozen product, but because of the robustness of our freezers and their capabilities, if we're buying a truckload of meat that's fresh and it has a freeze-by deadline, where a lot of times that was preventive of us, now we can go ahead and move forward with those
and
options.
I can certainly say it's cold in there. My glass is really fogged up. Everything has its own specialized area.
Yeah.
Because every time that you and I have had a conversation, it's not just feeding people, but also healthy food options.
Healthy food.
And that's the thing that I'm taking away from today, is the produce, the vegetables, and having an opportunity to really, I don't know if this is the right word, but maybe even reconnect with the ranchers and the producers that are having this these resources that might have otherwise gone to waste.
Yeah, I mean, there's no cons. It's like we always say, how do we punch holes in what we're doing, right? I mean, we're taking care of our neighbors. We're providing support to our local agriculture. We're supporting agriculture in our state. We're helping our communities be more impactful. And we're just making Montana a better place to be. And everybody has an opportunity, and it's whichever way they want to contribute to allow access to be a part of it. It's endless opportunity, right? Being able to respond, and like we say, you never know what's gonna happen in life, or where your community or what's your family's impacted. But it's reassuring to know that if something does happen, we're here. We're here to help. We've got partnerships in every county, every community across the state, ready to jump in and make sure that all of our neighbors and our healthy communities can thrive.
Well, I appreciate the tour, and it is definitely an impressive facility.
Thank you.
certainly can do a lot with this.
Yeah, we're very fortunate, and we can't say thanks enough to to everybody involved who got us here, all of our funders, every individual across the state that sends in a check every month, regardless of the amount, just reassuring that, the money's being well used and it's getting to those that need it the most.